Welcome to the Cinebuds podcast. In this episode, we discuss Hollywood movie budgets, why the Ghostbusters reboot is a target for so much hate, and Disney's live-action adaptation of Beauty and the Beast. The Cinebuds podcast starts right now. Welcome to the Cinebuds podcast, where we talk about all things fantastic in the world of movies. I'm Matt Cook, and with me always is Garrett Dennert.
Howdy, howdy. How's it going?
Good. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. Happy to be back here.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time. We got quite a few topics to cover.
Yeah, and thanks for everyone who checked out episode 1. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a good time. Please keep listening. We got some good things in the works over here at Cinebuds. All right. So on the first thing, what have you been watching, man?
So it's been 2 weeks since we've done this. And mostly I've been trying to get caught up on Game of Thrones.
As am I. Oh, yeah. Wait, you're not caught up?
No.
Oh.
So Sunday nights, it's just stay off the internet kind of shit.
Yeah, you gotta avoid it if you're not up to speed on it.
Yeah, I've seen some spoilers, but in the past couple of weeks we've gotten, I don't know, within a season. So we're closing in on we just watched one episode so far of season 5. So yeah.
Oh, so you're only one episode in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we got a little bit to go.
Yeah, definitely. Avoid those spoilers because so far this season's been, I've really enjoyed this season of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Dude, it's this cultural phenomenon.
Yeah,
now.
it's huge. It's massive.
It's nuts. Any website I go to that's at all entertainment related, you're talking on the rails, the ads are just I don't know, so many articles, more than I've seen about a TV show.
Yeah, it's huge. It's everywhere.
Yeah. So
In this last episode, there's probably more spoilers for this one than maybe since the second episode. I think the second episode, there's probably some huge spoilers going around. But I'm really enjoying this season of Game of Thrones. I think it's going to have a huge climax. It's going to be really, really good.
So far, would you say that it's on pace to be one of the better seasons?
I would say so. It hasn't had a really weak beginning. It's I've really been enjoying the beginning of this first half of the season. And I think it's only going to get better as the rest of the season goes on. And it's already halfway over, man. Lucky you still have 9 more episodes to go.
I know. Yeah. Really enjoy the show. The production value.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's crazy. Love the show. It's my own fault for getting way behind.
Yeah. Shame on you.
I know. Shame on me. How about you, though? What have you been watching?
Obviously Game of Thrones every Sunday. What's it on at 8 p.m.? 9 p.m., I think? I don't know. Whatever. That consumes my Sunday night evenings. Mm. But I've really enjoyed Bloodline on Netflix.
Ooh, I love Bloodline.
Yes. So if any of you out there have not seen Bloodline, watch it. It's kind of the beginning of the season's kind of like a slow burn.
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah, but it's very character driven, and you get really sucked into each character's storyline. Mm-hmm. And for those of you who don't know what it's about this family in the Florida Keys, and they own a bed and breakfast type hotel, and the oldest sibling comes back into town and kind of stirs up a little commotion. But I don't want to spoil anything, but it's a very, very good Netflix series. It's Netflix original. They've been pumping out some pretty good content on Netflix.
They make some quality stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually the second season, I think it comes out this Friday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So what's that? The 27th? Mm-hmm. May 27th?
I think so.
So I'm really excited to get back into that and continue watching Bloodline because I really, really liked that the first season. I thought it was great. I was really surprised. Ben Mendelsohn is so good, man.
I love Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah, he's actually. Go ahead.
Jinx. No, like I really like Kyle Chandler too.
Is he the cop on Bloodline? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. For some reason, I didn't get into Friday Night Lights, the show, and so I guess I didn't really take him that seriously. I saw him pop up in different movies and whatever, and he would just have like supporting roles and
King Kong.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was like the first thing I saw him in, and it's just like, who the fuck's this guy, kind of a thing.
Right.
Not because he did bad. It was just like I didn't know who he was, and but like then I saw him in The Wolf of Wall Street. He was really good in The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh yeah, is the FBI agent?
Yeah, I thought he did.
Okay, yeah. He was really good in that.
And then in Bloodline, just him and Ben Mendelsohn just like blow you away. Like, it's really well done.
Yeah, it was a great show. So yeah, check out Bloodline. You been watching anything else?
Or
any movies you've seen recently?
Well, it's mostly been just TV shows. So like watch Broad City. Like finally got caught up on that. So Broad City on Comedy Central, really funny show. And watch Veep and Silicon Valley. I love Silicon Valley.
I've heard a lot of good things about Silicon Valley and Veep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are both more comedic shows, right?
Yeah. And like of the two, like I prefer Silicon Valley. Like I don't know what it is about it. Like I think some of it has to do with like I'm not all that into politics. Like I don't like Veep is hilarious, don't get me wrong. Like it's got Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Tony Hale, Gary Cole, like really good cast, really smart writing, really funny. But like Silicon Valley just has this like it's a lot more plot driven. Okay. And like for me, like it makes the comedic situations that much funnier, where it's just like I don't know. With Veep, it seems to be a very simple plot where it's just like almost get as much power as you can kind of a thing. And from an already powerful position, whereas like Silicon Valley, like they're navigating so much shit that like comes with starting a business that like it's really, really funny. And like there are like serious dramatic moments too. And like it's just got a good feel to it. It's like, I don't know. It's a good show. I definitely recommend it.
Are both of those on HBO?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I'll definitely start to check those out and give those a shot. But other than that, I mean, what are you looking forward to that's coming out this summer or I guess in the fall too?
Well, I'll start Bloodline, second season. I didn't know that was.
Yeah.
That's
2
really
days
soon
from now. Yeah.
And I also saw that Peaky Blinders season 3 is going to be coming to Netflix soon, or US Netflix. I know that it's been playing on BBC. And those are just. Have you seen Peaky Blinders?
I don't even know what that is.
No. So
enlighten me.
It's a Netflix original. So it was created by Stephen Knight. I don't know why different things are like escaping me right now, but like he's done some quality stuff. Like, and it stars Cillian Murphy. Okay. And Tom Hardy is in it as well.
Really?
Yeah. And so it's about the Shelby brothers in Birmingham, UK in the 1920s. So like organized crime basically, and they were named Peaky Blinders. So it's based off true stuff, but like they were named Peaky Blinders because they kept razor blades in their hats, and so like they could just like swing their hat and like slice someone's face.
Dang.
And like
it's like Odd Job from James Bond.
Yeah. Fucking Odd Job.
Or did he throw his shoe? Or was that Austin Powers?
That was Austin Powers.
Okay. So Odd Job did throw his hat.
I think so.
Okay.
It just brought back like GoldenEye memories, like the game.
Yeah.
But a Peaky Blinders is just like 6-episode seasons. So like there's just 2 seasons currently. So it might be one like if it's a rainy day and you're looking to binge, like you could knock out quite a few. And like it's solid. Like I really, really like that show. And I saw that was coming out. Got really excited. Movie wise, like BFG.
Yes.
The BFG. Like
I'm completely there with you.
I think that looks amazing. I can't wait.
Yep.
What else? I don't know. How about you?
Well, I'm looking forward to a little movie called Sausage Party, which is a Seth Rogen movie. And what I love about this movie, not only that it's like an R-rated animated movie with like food items, is that Seth Rogen's voice couldn't be any more perfect for a freaking hot dog. Seriously, like he has the perfect voice for a hot dog. I mean,
Yeah.
it's unreal.
I can't disagree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't know how I feel about it.
I mean, it's probably not going to be that great of a movie. Like, it's not going to be as good as like a Pixar movie, but I just hope to get a lot of like laughs out of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I first saw the trailer, I was blown away. There's even a scene, like a little clip in the trailer that's very reminiscent of like Saving Private Ryan. There's like a little food item like on a beach with like, I don't know.
Just like bunkered in.
No, it's like an homage to the scene on the beach where Tom Hanks is seeing the guy like walking around with his arm.
Oh, I think I saw that.
They literally recreated that scene in the Sausage Party trailer. I think that movie's gonna be an awesome time. But I mean, what's coming up? I mean, I'm excited for State of Jones. Have you seen the trailer for that?
Yeah,
that Matthew McConaughey Civil War movie.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be great.
So do I. Like, directed by Gary Ross, I saw, who did the first Hunger Games movie, and then he did Seabiscuit. He did Pleasantville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Like, that looks really good.
Yeah, and I mean, Matthew McConaughey is on a comeback
He's
these
nailing
last
it.
few years. He's killing it.
Yeah. Like, what did it start with? Dallas Buyers Club? Was that like...
Yeah, probably.
Did you see that one?
No, I need to see it. I know
Yeah.
Jared Leto won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. I need to watch it.
Like, those two performances, so McConaughey and Leto, like, they're great. Like, they're definitely worth watching it. Like, if the plot doesn't suck you in, you know,
Right.
like, just watching them. And, like, I mean, in True Detective,
Oh,
McConaughey was...
Yeah, True
a beast.
Detective, man.
Yeah.
Not so much season 2, but season 1 of True Detective, man. That was incredible.
Yeah. Like that...
It was like 8. I think it was only 8 episodes.
Yep.
But it was like a 8-hour long like movie.
Oh, dude, I watched it in, like, I think maybe 2 days.
Yeah.
And... Which, I don't know, it's probably not any sort of world record, but, like, for me, that's a lot, you know? And but Free State of Jones, yeah, it just looks like he's gonna be like continuing that.
Yeah, and it looks like he's really owning the character. You know, he has
His teeth are all fucked up. Like,
yeah, he's not trying to like keep his Hollywood image. He's really owning up that character.
Yeah, I just thought of another one that like McConaughey like yay status is like Mud. Did you see Mud?
Yeah, Mud's great.
Yeah, so like what Mud, Dallas Buyers Club, even a small part in Wolf of Wall Street was awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, True Detective. Yeah, he's been on a tear.
What about the Jason Bourne movie? You excited for that one? Have you seen the trailer for that?
I haven't.
It looks pretty good, man.
Who's in it?
Matt Damon.
Okay,
The last one was Jeremy Renner.
that's where I'm getting confused.
Yeah, I don't remember what that Bourne movie was called. I didn't see it, but I think this one's just called Jason Bourne.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's Alicia Vikander or Alicia Vikander. She was in Ex Machina,
Okay.
and she was in
Love that movie.
The Danish Girl, which she won Best Supporting Actress, I think. She
Okay.
won the Oscar for that. And fun fact, she's actually going to be in Tomb Raider
Oh, they're
as Lara
rebooting.
Croft.
They're
Yeah,
rebooting that.
yeah.
All right.
I mean, if she was not in that movie, I don't think I'd care at all.
You'd probably-
But she's a phenomenal actress, so I'm going to be extremely excited for
Nice.
Tomb Raider. But let's get on to the next segment. We're talking about movie budgets.
Movie budgets.
And there's one movie that came out recently that I really like, and it only costed $58 million, and that would be Deadpool. Now, Garrett, you have not seen Deadpool.
I haven't.
But-
Shame on me.
Yeah, you need to watch it.
I know.
Deadpool has grossed $760 million worldwide with a budget of $58 million. And that is incredible.
Yeah, that's crazy. And like Matt threw a stat at me today regarding like comparing and contrasting budgets, where like Deadpool was that low. Compare that to Pirates of the Caribbean, Stranger Tides.
Yeah, on Stranger Tides.
It's 358 million?
I think 378.
378 million.
And it grossed 1,045 million smackaroos.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I can't imagine, like, as a producer being, and I know that it's not just one producer, like, it's several people, like, pulling shit together.
Yeah.
But, like, I still can't imagine, like, posting up $380 million.
That's insane.
And, like,
that's, like, double the amount of money for, like, a top-tier action movie.
Yeah.
And, like, for me, like, I think like Superman Returns that came out in like 2006. I think that had a really high budget, but that had a high production cost because there was a movie that was supposed to come out after Batman and Robin, which was called Superman Lives, which was
okay.
There's a screenplay written by Kevin Smith, and it was supposed to be directed by Tim Burton.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's actually a documentary out there, which is written and directed by a movie guy like John Schnepp. It's The Death of Superman Lives, What Happened. Very interesting. It shows you kind of all the like behind the scenes of this movie that was never made. But Superman Returns, it had a high budget because it had all that previous budget cost leading up to it. But like Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, like, is it the third or fourth of the franchise?
I don't even know.
So what?
There's Dead Man's Chest at World's End.
Okay.
So it'd be the fourth.
Yeah, and I don't think I have seen the last two, but like, what could make this movie cost that much?
Like, the only thing I can think of is just like
shooting on location? Like,
yeah, the shooting on the water, and it's just like,
I guess.
But like, why didn't the others cost that much?
Right.
Like, there are other obviously ways to get around it. I mean, I know you want the I don't know. It seems like the idea of the blockbuster is like bigger, better, bigger, better, bigger, better, and so it's just like let's expand the scope here. It's just like okay, so how many scenes do you have on the water? Like, and if disclaimer, like, I mean, if that's what costed that much money, but like also if they're building sets to like simulate the water, like that's got to cost a fuck ton too. Right. Like, I don't know, that and Johnny Depp's price tag probably goes way up,
making $25-30 million for Pirates of the Caribbean to do a impression of.
Yeah. And so like, I guess the interesting thing about those two movies and their budgets and like how much they were able to gross, like, is how were they successful, where it's just Pirates of the Caribbean, like, I look to just exposure. Like, I don't remember the marketing of it, but like, I'm sure it was jammed down people's throats, and like, it's already got a global presence. It's huge.
Disney.
Yeah. And compare that to Deadpool. Like, I mean, do you have any ideas as to like why Deadpool was successful? Like, was it just because I've only heard great things, so I know that it's a good movie.
Okay, so Deadpool is, I mean, before the movie came out, he was a really, really small, in the world of comics, he's a well-known character, but aside from that, like, he had never really been in any other media. Like, he'd never been in any other live-action comic book movie. So he's a brand new character to the movie industry. And I think a lot of what helped it was Ryan Reynolds, obviously. He promoted the hell out of that movie, and it was a true passion project for him. I think he'd been wanting to make it for 6 or 7 years.
No shit.
Because he actually played Deadpool, or like Wade Wilson in X-Men Wolverine Origins.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I remember he had like the mouth sewn shut and all that. That was a very terrible interpretation of Deadpool.
Very early.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a lot of magic. The marketing for it was really, really great. They even had like romantic like ads, and I think they had like ads that aired during like The Bachelor, and the trailers were awesome, and there's just a lot of buzz about it. But it's just incredible that, I mean, it just shows that you don't need a huge budget. And I think having a controlled and slightly smaller budget, like a reined in budget, helps, have a more specific vision to your movie. And it's not just like everyone, when you have a budget of $378 million, you got to have X and X and X amount of people having certain aspects of control. And it has to be kind of like a tug of war battle.
For sure.
I just think having a smaller budget can help create a more specific and better movie.
Well, I think having a smaller budget would maybe affect them in two different ways, where it's just like it puts more pressure on say like the marketing team, more pressure on the crew, even, where it's just like don't screw up. Whereas like with Pirates of the Caribbean, maybe that high budget was like spiked by a screw up or like a natural disaster or
it could be
something. Whereas like with Deadpool, like it wasn't something billed, as far as I know, it wasn't billed like a Spider-Man or something within the studio, where it's just like, this is a guaranteed like $500 million movie that we're gonna make or like bring in.
Right.
So I don't know. It seems like it forced the marketing team to do something very funny and very smart and efficient, because like what you described, where it's just like these funny like romantic ads like placed in like a Bachelor sequence or whatever. Like that's nuts. That's really bold and like it's really smart.
Yeah, it kind of made the marketing team. I mean, I'm sure Ryan Reynolds had a lot of involvement with that stuff. He's a pretty funny and creative guy. But they had to kind of reinvent the wheel and come up with some fresh new takes on marketing. And I think they did a great job, getting that movie out to every type of audience. And
like, I mean,
it shows.
How many ads are we exposed to daily, like here in the US, where like to stand out, like you have to do something interesting like that. And like they did. And I don't know, they got to more people than I think they would even have guessed. Like, so I don't know. It's really cool.
Yep. All right, so now we're going to talk about a movie coming out in the next few weeks. That would be Ghostbusters. And this has received a lot of backlash. I think it might be the most disliked movie trailer on YouTube. I could be wrong.
I think I read that.
But yeah, this movie has so much hate. I mean, we're going to kind of delve into a few reasons why this movie has so much hate. But what are some of the reasons you think this movie is so much disliked?
Speaking of budget here, like I think it was IMDb that was reporting like an estimated $150 million budget for Ghostbusters.
Okay.
And directed by, I think I'm going to say his name right. Sorry if I don't. Paul Feig.
Yeah, I think that's how I've heard it pronounced too.
Okay. And so like he was the director of Bridesmaids, right?
Yeah, I think he was actually on that show Kids Down the Hall.
Oh, really?
I think it's like a Canadian show, but
yeah, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Like, I don't know. To me, that seems like a really big budget for someone that isn't well versed in handling that kind of money. Like, this obviously is all without seeing the movie. Like, but as it is, like, I'm really not excited to see it, and like, that may be part of the reason. And full disclosure here, like, I haven't seen all of the previous Ghostbusters. Like, I know that they were a huge thing. Like, I know the general premise. I know
you haven't seen the first Ghostbusters, or
I don't know.
You may have seen like pieces on
Yeah,
TV
I remember,
back in the day.
I remember my parents watching it, but like I was too young to like
Okay.
really get into it.
Can I let you borrow it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course. I'll get to it. But like I know that those movies were like, or they still are looked at as like pioneering type movies.
Yeah.
Where like it seemed to be that they weren't following a formula, that they were rather like developing their own formula.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like this movie is like following that formula, but like it's not lending anything new except that it's an all-female cast. And like that's fine, but like I don't understand it. I don't get it other than to say like, hey, we can have an all-female cast.
Right.
And like I don't know, I just don't think that that's that strong of a feminist message where like they're not the first movie to do that. They're not going to be the last movie to do that. Like, it shouldn't even be a fucking thing.
Right.
Like, so instead of like adding to the franchise, instead of pushing anything in any new direction, it's just sort of like, I don't know, like this one note thing.
Yeah.
So
for me, like, I have no problem that it is an all-female cast. To me, it just kind of looks like they're slapping like a Ghostbusters skin on just an average like comedy movie.
Yeah.
In like a modern comedy movie. Like to me, it's just the tone is all wrong. And this is just all basing it from the few trailers that I've seen. I mean, I will see the movie and I'll give it a shot, but I don't have high hopes. And it just, I don't know. It just looks like it's trying to. It just looks like they wrote it for a different audience. They didn't go in writing it for the already built-in Ghostbusters audience, and I think that's why there's all this backlash. Is because I mean, this is like Ghostbusters is like a cultural phenomenon. Like, and people, it's such a nostalgic like thing, like type of media that people, it's not as big as Star Wars, but it kind of has that same like,
right.
The fans really take ownership in this thing. So when they see it not the way that they want it, not the way they envisioned it, because I'm sure for 30 years people have wanted another Ghostbusters movie, and then when they find out that it doesn't, I mean, we don't know
it doesn't match their
expectations, and we don't know if Bill Murray's going to make a cameo or whatever. But yeah, it just, to me, it doesn't have, aside from like the outfits and the, I don't remember what you call the backpack laser, whatever you call. It just, I don't know. It just looks artificial to me.
Right.
And the comedy pieces do not, they do not win me over. I don't know. The Ghostbusters to me just seemed a little more grounded in like sci-fi, like not so much sci-fi, but just like adventure with comedy.
Right.
Where this one just seems like a slapstick comedy with. Yeah. But that's just judging from the trailer. I don't know. That's just my take.
And I wonder if, and as am I, like, I wonder if they kind of looked around and they're just like, we can't really compete with the sci-fi movies of today.
Yeah.
So like, the ghosts look modernized. Like if you want to, if modernized ghosts are a thing.
I think the old ghosts were practical effects. So these ones look all CG. So that's a big difference from the previous one.
Well, like I just wonder if they like looked around and they're just like, well, this is the best card that we have to play. It's like, let's have a different kind of or different style of comedy because we can't match Bill Murray. We can't. And that's fine, but it's, I don't know. It just, to me, kind of reeks of studio greed. Like if you're going to treat it like that, it shouldn't be made.
Right.
Because like,
as a cash grab.
Yeah. Yep.
But I mean, it shows that. I mean, okay, so say this movie makes $15 million opening weekend, which I would consider that to be a disappointment.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, with, say it's $150 million budget, I think they'd be hoping to hit like the $40 to $60 million range.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I mean, not hopefully, but if this movie is a disappointment, how do you think that will affect like Hollywood's persona of, I guess, these franchise like reboots? Because they're trying. The reason they're doing this is because they already have like a built-in audience, and it's almost like a guaranteed profit.
Right. I'm not sure if it would affect it in the short term, but I think that it's like adding to the case in the long term.
Yeah.
Where it's just like yet another example of it not quite working.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe something could be learned from it. Like assuming that we're right about like how we feel and like how it's going to be received.
Yeah.
Assuming that like it's not going to be a great movie and that some of that lies in the story and some of it lies in the tone and things like that. Like maybe something can be learned from it where it's just, okay, we actually do have to pay a lot more attention to the story, like in order for this to work and pull it off. But I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith that it's going to like, if it were to tank, that it's really going to change a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? Like, would you consider yourself a Ghostbusters fan?
Yeah, I really enjoy the movies. I mean, it's not one of like my favorite like movie franchises, but I mean, they're really fun, and I really like watching them every once in a while.
Well,
but it's not like this new like reboot. I mean, if it's like, I don't care if it does well, it does well. You still have the original movies to enjoy. So I don't know. That's just my take on all kind of reboots.
Right.
You still have the original stuff to watch. So
yeah, it doesn't necessarily ruin the originals. It's just I don't know. I guess just disappointing. Like you can store that somewhere else, like in your brain or your heart or whatever. That disappointment, and don't hold it against your originals. And like this franchise sucks now because like they tried to reboot it and it sucked. Like that's not fair to the originals. That's not
right. Yeah,
they should be treated as their own thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, if it's terrible, everyone will forget about it in about 5 years.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. All right. So let's get on to something that we're both extremely excited for, and that would be Christopher Nolan's film Dunkirk. Yep. Now, Dunkirk is about hundreds of thousands of British and Allied troops that are surrounded by enemy forces in the 1940s, and they were trapped on the beach with their backs to the sea, and they faced an impossible situation as enemies closed in on them. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts, and what do you think about Dunkirk?
Up until just today, really, I didn't even know that this was in the works. But upon hearing it, like, I'm pretty excited, I have to say. Like, for a couple different reasons. Like, I'm a huge Christopher Nolan fan. Mm-hmm. Seen him described as a genre chameleon, which I thought was an apt description because, like, start off with something like Memento, where it's just like this cerebral noir type movie, and then like compare that to what he did with Inception and Interstellar and Batman or the Dark Knight trilogy. Like, I don't know, he's kind of all over the place and he kind of nails it wherever he's at, or at least up to this point. And so like, while the Christopher Nolan I've grown accustomed to like doesn't necessarily fit with a World War II movie, like I'm excited to see his take on it. I don't really expect much of the cerebral type stuff that like I have come to love, where like, for example, just like Interstellar, like you're not going to have the theory of relativity, you're not going to have like a black hole being explained. So like those things that like usually have me in awe, where I'm just like, what the fuck, like this guy gets away with like, and I not gets away, he just nails it. He just like, you're explaining a black hole to a mass audience, like it's crazy. But like, I expect it to be a great movie. I think that it'll be great for him, and I think it'll be great for, I don't know, I was thinking about this earlier, where it's just like American audiences like aren't too familiar with like European theater prior to the US's involvement in World War II. So like we have Michael Bay and to thank for Pearl Harbor education, and we have Saving Private Ryan for D-Day. But like outside of that, like I don't know, at least in cinema there's not, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like there's a whole lot going on. And so like to see a movie that's not going to involve the US, like I'm really interested to see how that's received by the US.
Yeah, hopefully it'll educate some of y'all out there. But it has a July release date in 2017, so it's gonna be a summer blockbuster, and it'll probably have a good opening weekend too. I mean, I kind of hope that it's gonna be like this decade's Saving Private Ryan. I'm really excited to see his take on like World War II action.
Yeah.
There'll probably be some close quarters firefights, and Tom Hardy, I think he's going to be great in it.
Yep. So it's got Tom Hardy, Cillian Murphy.
I'm not sure who else.
I think Harry Styles is in it. Like that kid from like One Direction.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Yeah. Come on, man.
I know who I know what One Direction is. I don't know who the kid is though.
Oh, I hate to admit that like I knew that name. Got to be honest. But yeah, it's got I think Mark Rylance.
Yep.
Also
Kenneth Branagh.
Okay.
Yeah, and Harry Styles. July 21st, 2017. So it's gonna have a big opening.
Yeah.
And Nolan he's one of the few directors that like his name on a movie is like an actor being on a poster. So like
for sure.
Like a character director, which is like Tarantino or Scorsese, you know. So I'm really excited to see what this World War II movie for Nolan is going to be like.
Yeah, and I think that like he's going to handle the subject material really well and give it the respect that it deserves. Like, and I only say that because one thing that I hold against war movies a lot is that like they try to glorify, or it comes across as the glorification of war, where it's just like blood, explosions, bullets. It's great. Like, and like that's really not the goal of filmmakers, but like the audience seems to demand that, where they want the bigger explosions, they want like the bigger weapons and stuff. And it, I don't know, it ends up coming across as like this recruitment type video, like for the military. And like, I don't think Nolan's gonna do that. Like, I think Nolan's gonna treat it with respect and with care.
Right. Absolutely. Since it's, regarding, his home country.
Yeah.
I think he'll really want to do service to, part of his country's history.
Yep. I agree.
So, and he, I believe he's writing it too.
Yeah.
So
I think I saw that.
I think it's going to be a real treat. All right. So now we're going to jump into a little segment we like to call Nostalgia's Corner.
Ooh.
So Garrett, what is your pick for this week's Nostalgia's Corner?
This week's pick, I hope you like. I think you've seen it before.
Yeah, you haven't told me yet. The suspense is killing me.
I know. I choose Little Giants.
Oh.
Did you ever see that?
Dude, are you kidding me? Have I seen Little Giants?
I just want to make sure.
Oh my gosh.
I loved that movie.
Yes.
So it came out in 94.
Yep.
So I was 4 years old. But like, I'm pretty sure I watched it until I was like 7 or 8, just like every week.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was one that I cherished. And like, I was looking at it today, just wanting to like get a feel for it again, because I haven't seen it for like 20 years. Like, I don't know.
Dude, are you serious? I swear I watched that like 3 years ago.
Seriously?
Yeah. I don't remember.
No judgment. Like, I'm just surprised. It's a great movie.
Yeah, like, that movie made me want to be on the Dallas Cowboys so bad.
Yeah. Like, I was thinking about it today. You know how, okay, when I was watching it then, it's just like, these kids are really cool, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're doing everything that I want to do. Like, really wanted to play football. I really wanted to like wear those uniforms and like have cool friends and like blah, blah, blah. But like now, like I look at that movie and I just like think about like what happened, what went on, and you got like Rick Moranis' team that's just like this ragtag group of people, a group of kids, like taking on the man, and
Yep.
it's just like, holy shit! Like Rick Moranis just showed these kids like how to defeat corporate America.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's cool. Like
Yeah.
it's so cool. Like 20 years later to look back and just be, oh, another thing too. Remember Becky, the character Becky,
Yeah.
the like girl that wasn't supposed
she's
to be
the
good.
tomboy.
Yeah, and like Devon Sawa. Remember that guy?
Yeah. He was in like Casper and
He was supposed
Idle Hand.
Yeah, Idle Hands. That's a fun movie.
Yeah, I like that.
But like, she was really into Devon Sawa, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, she didn't do anything to change. She just like kept kicking ass, and like, she ends up getting the boy that she likes. And I'm just like, that's progressive. Like, that's a sweet movie for '94 kids. Like,
Right.
I don't know. Like, take down the man.
Yeah.
Like, progressive thoughts on like sexism. I don't know. It's really funny.
Yeah, I truly cherish Little Giants, man. That is such a good 90s pick.
Yeah. Rick Moranis at his height.
Yeah.
Maybe not his height, but like,
It is right in there. You know,
Yeah.
you had Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That was all right in there, man.
yeah. Well,
Great pick. I can't follow up to that.
yeah, you can.
No, I can't.
I know you got a good one.
Well, I
tell
changed
us.
mine. I don't know if
Ooh,
you know
pulled the
one I got.
switcheroo. What do you got? What do you got?
I have Terminator, the original
Ooh.
Terminator movie directed by James Cameron.
Okay.
That to me is one of the pivotal and iconic action movies of the last, I don't know, this last half of the century. I really love the original Terminator movie. I might slightly like Terminator 2 better,
Yeah.
and they're
I love
the same, but they're different. To me, the original Terminator movie is more of like a horror movie, like
Okay.
a horror sci-fi horror movie, where Terminator 2 is just more of like an action, like blockbuster sci-fi type of thing. But the original Terminator, I believe it came out in 1984, it didn't introduce us. I guess Conan introduced this to Arnold Schwarzenegger in movies, but this was more of his breakout role. And I just love the way at this time, Arnold could not act.
No, he didn't have a speaking line, right? Or was there?
No, he said a few things like
Okay. Or it was Conan that he didn't really.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he really talked in that movie, but I just really I like the futuristic sci-fi elements in the first Terminator. When they're fighting the machines, and John Connor's like the general of
John Connor.
Yeah, John Connor. That's a terrible impression. But I don't know. That movie, I just hold it dearly to my heart. And
It's a good one.
yeah, I think it's never going to be forgotten because it's such a great movie.
Like, I think I prefer the second one to the first one,
Yeah.
but like,
It's just, I think, an overall better movie.
yeah, but the first one, I mean, it still holds its own.
Yeah.
Like, what, 35 years later? Yeah, or 36,
Yeah.
or whatever it is. Yeah, Jimmy Cameron. He knew what he was doing, and like that launched him, right? Like that was his first.
And I think after that, he did Aliens, the sequel to Ridley Scott's Alien movie. And then after that, did he go into...
when did he do the Abyss?
Yeah, I think he did The Abyss after that. I think that came out in like late 80s, maybe Terminator 1 or Terminator 2 I think came out in 1991.
Yeah, which was almost a decade after the first Terminator, right? Or Terminator was that 90 or 84?
84. So
okay. So 7 years.
Yeah, it's quite a while. I mean, that's a long period of time for a sequel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just the Terminator, the first and second one are some of my favorite action movies of all time. And I mean, let's go back to movie budgets. I'm sure I don't know the Terminator budget off the top of my hand. or top of my head, whatever.
Hand, head, same
But
thing.
I can't imagine it was a lot.
No. I doubt anybody was just like, here you go, Jim. Like,
Right.
here's $100 million. Like, we really believe in your idea, because like it was a new idea. It was like pushing the boundaries.
And I think that's the problem with these new Terminator movies, is that they're trying to go way too large of scale, and I think they really need to focus on a smaller story. Like the first Terminator, they're just trying to go for this huge sci-fi action spectacle, and it's just not working.
No.
And
No,
I love the
not.
Terminator franchise, and I want to see it prosper, but I mean, the third Terminator 3, what was it, Rise of the Machines, I think it was.
Yeah.
Terminator Salvation was bad. McG.
I couldn't believe that I watched Salvation.
I think we saw that together in theaters.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, because like, I don't know.
Because Christian Bale and
Oh yeah,
Sam Worthington was in there.
Yep.
I think that was pre-Avatar.
Like it was
for him.
It was supposed to be good. Like I went into it
Yeah.
with high expectations, because like they make those trailers look so good.
Oh yeah, for sure. They always do. They always just get you, man. They get you to come in and empty out your pockets.
Take
to
my
see
money.
Terrible movies. So yeah, that's my pick. Terminator, 1984.
I dig that pick.
It's a classic. So we had one of our listeners out there.
He wants us to weigh in on some classics.
Yeah, Mr. Alex Talmadge on Twitter asked, thoughts on classic Disney movies being made into live action movies.
First of all, thank you, Mr. Alex Talmadge.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Alex Talmadge on Twitter.
If you guys ever want to reach us on Twitter, we're there. We'll tell you about it later.
Yep. All right, so a new trailer came out for one of Disney's live action adaptations. That would be for Beauty and the Beast.
Mm-hmm.
We watched the trailer right before we started this. So Garrett, what are your thoughts on Beauty and the Beast teaser trailer?
It did what it's supposed to do. I'm excited to see more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it teased the hell out of us, didn't it?
Yeah, like really loved Beauty and the Beast as a kid.
Yes.
Haven't watched it in a long time.
Yeah, to be honest, I'll make a confession. I haven't seen, and to me, it's my favorite Disney movie.
Yeah,
Out of
it's a good one.
The cartoon ones from the, before they started doing like 3D digital animation, Beauty and the Beast is my favorite Disney movie.
Yeah, it's right up there with mine. Like, and I'm excited to see how they handle it. I'm excited about the Emma Watson pick.
Yeah, great pick.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think that a lot of that movie in my head will rely on set design.
Yes. Yeah. For me, it's going to be how different do they make certain iconic set pieces look? Because
that's crucial to that movie.
Yeah. Because, okay, they did a Cinderella movie, I think, a year ago. I have not seen that. But I feel like Cinderella, you have a lot more wiggle room.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like Cinderella has as specific set pieces. Obviously, you have like the pumpkin turning into the carriage or whatever you call it. But
right.
like Beauty and the Beast, you have the castle and just the individual characters, in the ballroom and the village where she's walking around. And
yeah, I think that like I hope that they nailed it with the voice talent. I know Ian McKellen is going to bring it.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're talking about casting. Let me list off the cast right here. This has probably one of the best casting lists. I don't know if you could have a better one. Okay. So you have Emma Watson as Belle, Ewan McGregor, who's playing, he's playing the Candlestick. I forgot what is it, Lumiere? And then you have Luke Evans, who's playing Gaston. Dan Stevens, who's playing Beast. I don't think I've seen him in anything else, but he's playing Beast. And you have Ian McKellen, Gandalf himself playing is it
You
Codsworth?
shall not pass.
Codsworth, I think. Emma Thompson is playing Mrs. Potts.
Ooh, I love Emma Thompson.
Yeah, she's great.
Yep.
Josh Gad is playing LeFou.
Nice.
And Stanley Tucci is playing someone I'm not sure who.
Okay.
I thought I looked at the casting and I didn't think his character was in the cartoon version. I could be wrong though.
Okay.
But this cast is solid. I mean, Josh Gad as LeFou.
Well, when I think of like those voices too,
Yeah.
you know, like it might sound like a dumb observation, like admittedly, but like they're all very, very different voices.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I think it's going to be really good. And like this teaser trailer is kind of coming on the heels of the Jungle Book, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Sort of. Yeah. Like, and I still haven't seen the Jungle Book. Shame on me again.
Yep.
I suck. But Matt has.
It was great.
Yeah.
I really liked the Jungle Book.
So they did a great job
Yes.
with the adaptation, right?
Yeah, Jon Favreau directed that one. He killed it. And that, I don't know if you saw my review, but I talked
did.
a little bit about how it was filmed on a LA green screen lot. And I mean, you wouldn't even be able to tell, man. It looks so good. I'm not sure with this movie how much is on set, like practical, like constructed sets versus like green screen, like all the scenes in the snow, like when she's being chased by like the wolves and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's all kind of, on location and things like that. I prefer that way more over like a green screen look, but I don't know.
Yeah. Like, so in between the two movies, like, how do you feel about them continuing to do the adaptations? Or like, are there any others that I'm missing?
There was the Cinderella one that came out like a year ago.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think they've confirmed any other ones. I thought I read a statement that Disney's considering of doing a Little Mermaid live action movie.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm into that one.
Yeah, the whole under the sea thing. I don't know how well that'd work.
Yeah.
I mean, we're seeing Aquaman. Does that come out next year or 2 years?
Aquaman.
So we'll see what that looks like. But I don't know. I'd much rather see like Aladdin or like Mulan.
That one would be good.
Yeah.
Aladdin too. Yeah. Like, I think along those lines, and to your question, Mr. Alex Talmadge out there on Twitter, I don't know. Like, it kind of depends on the project.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised that the Jungle Book worked, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
Like, they had to probably wait for the right moment to do that. I don't know how long that has been in the works, but like for the technology to catch up to that idea.
Yeah.
And the Beauty and the Beast, I think they probably could have remade that at other times, but like now probably feels more right than it ever has. Like, I don't know. Like, I have high hopes for these, like, and because like I'm of that age that like they're starting to remake the ones that I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like
definitely.
for the original. So like I'm interested, and I think it's really cool to think about like our kids and the kids to come to like see that and feel the same things that we felt as kids.
Right.
But that really lies in the hands of the filmmakers and what they're going for, because like I think for me anyway, what I can point to the stories as like what really drew me in, but I don't know if that's still going to be a thing that's going to continue to draw in kids that like that have been exposed to potentially like prettier images than I was at that age, you know, where it's just like, is the intent going to be more visual, or is the intent going to be more of like a heartfelt story? You know, like, are they going to even care about taking that story and repurposing it in the proper way? So I don't know. Like, it's really interesting. Like, it's really interesting to see how it's done. But I don't know. How do you feel about it?
I mean, I really like seeing, you know, these aspects of our childhood come to fruition in a live action form.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want them to be done with justice and not done in a way that's just, like I said before, they have a built-in audience with this, us, our generation. I mean, we're parents. Some of us are parents.
Yeah.
So obviously we're going to be drawn to these movies, and then they're going to be taking their kids to these movies. So they have that built-in audience. So I'm fine with it, just as long as they're done in a great way. I just don't want them to be done as cash grabs, dipping into the consumer's pockets because they already have a built-in audience. But I really enjoy seeing these childhood movies of ours come to live action.
And you brought up a point that, I mean, that's a smart business move.
Oh yeah, it's very smart.
Considering that like they're making it at this time, where our generation's like they've either been parents for a couple of years or starting to like want a family or
hear me out on this.
Uh-huh.
I remember I
Look
actually
on your face.
I actually remember my parents taking me to The Lion King. Mm-hmm. So I can see, other people going to see these live action adaptations with their parents, as a nostalgic thing,
Yeah. Connecting generations.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, like, you brought up an interesting one, like my reaction to The Little Mermaid, a suggestion, where it's just, what are some other ones that just won't work for you? Like, I have a couple that I'm thinking of that, like...
Yeah. Okay, so live action Disney movies.
Like, how do you think The Lion King would do? I mean, you've seen The Jungle Book.
Okay, so if they're going to do it, like, in the tone, or not the tone, but stylistically of The Jungle Book, like, with the same type of, like, special effects, I think it would be incredible.
Okay.
I do not think you need, like, obviously Jungle Book had Mowgli, which brought that human element to it, but the way they filmed and made the Jungle Book, each animal and character had so much life and personality that you do not need that human element at all. And I think it's completely realistic and probably going to happen. Yeah. We're going to get a freaking Lion King movie.
Well, like, I feel...
You got to have the same soundtrack, though. Like, you can't change it. Disney.
No, don't fucking touch that soundtrack. That just brought to mind the Planet of the Apes movies for me, because, like, Caesar.
Yeah.
Like, how much I cared for Caesar. Like, compared to how I thought I was going to feel about those movies. Like, I wrote those off almost immediately and then gave them a chance, and I'm just like, they did a great job with that.
Yeah.
And so, like, at first I don't know, I'm kind of against the Lion King suggestion, but, like, I probably would like it. Like, truthfully, like, I was thinking The Fox and the Hound.
Oh yeah.
That, like, I don't really want to see that. Like, part of that is like, I don't know if that story is believable. Like, in any other form other than what it's already been in.
Right. That movie's so sad, man.
Yeah, I love that movie.
I think Kurt Russell voiced one character, and he might have been the Hound, like, when he becomes older.
Yeah.
Or no, he was the Fox, wasn't he?
Todd?
I believe he voiced Todd. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That would be a good one, though.
Like, another one, Bambi.
Oh, yeah.
What would you think of that one?
I haven't seen Bambi in so long, but I mean,
I haven't seen it.
I think if they announced they were doing Bambi, like, I think it would be a huge thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think, I forgot. They're doing Dumbo, and Tim Burton is directing it.
What?
Yeah.
When was that announced?
A few months ago, I think.
Damn.
But you have the pink elephant scene. Imagine what Tim Burton's going to do with that.
Yeah. That could be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's a great question, Mr. Alex Talmadge on Twitter. I don't know. Hopefully we answered it.
Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed our discussion of our thoughts on classic Disney movies. And yeah, I'm excited for Disney to, make some more of them, just as long as they do justice. Just make them good. That's all I ask.
I'm just going to keep thinking of ones to make and ones not to make. Like, that's going to be what I'm going to bed with tonight.
Right. You're going to be dreaming of Disney's animated movies and trying to think of ways to make them into live action adaptations.
Right.
But I think that's it for this episode of our podcast.
Episode 2.
Yeah.
In the books.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yep. All right. So, Garrett, where can people find you at?
People can find me on Twitter at Garrett Dennert. They can also go to it's sort of my website, sort of just a writing portfolio, garrettdennert.wordpress.com. And if you'd like to, pop on over to orsonspublishing.com. Like, it's still in progress. Like, if you remember from the last episode, I'm in the process of developing a book publishing company.
Awesome, man.
Where can people find you, man?
You can find me on Twitter and Facebook at Rex Overdrive, as well as YouTube at Rex Overdrive, where I talk about movies, movie reviews, any movie news or movie trailers that come out. I talk about them.
You just put out The Nice Guys.
Yeah,
review.
That movie was so much fun. But I guess we can get into that another time. But
For sure.
Check out The Nice Guys. Anyways, guys, that'll do it for episode 2 of the Cinebuds podcast. Thank you so much for listening.
See you next time, guys.